Okay, so I just wanted to reach out to one of my patrons, and uh, I thought it would be nice to have an informal chat. And your name is Davey. You're from North Carolina. I've never been to North Carolina. Have you been to Norway?
No, but like I honestly that's like one of my dreams is to go to like Scandinavia in general
Yeah,
and just
really?
to see how it is. Yeah, because I'm like super into like Vikings and stuff like that and like Norse mythology.
Yeah. Well, there aren't any Vikings here alive now, but not in that sense of the word. Have you watched the TV show Vikings?
Yeah, I never finished it, but I've seen the first 3 seasons, I want to say.
Yeah. Is you think it's good?
Oh yeah, it was actually pretty good. Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but it's too close to my novels, I would say. So, so it's like I don't like to watch what's close. I believe will be close to what I'm writing. I'm afraid I will get influenced by that.
Yeah, I can see why. Because I actually write too, and I feel like the same way. I feel like you get you're reading something similar to what you're writing, it's going to be you might be influenced to kind of if that might affect your writing
Yeah. Can I ask
per se.
what are your occupation? Are you a student? Are you working? Are you
Right
looking
now,
for work, or what's the situation?
right now I'm unemployed, but I kind of indulge in like writing and art and stuff like that as like a kind of like a side thing.
I'll just have to ask because I'm curious. We're in this whole COVID situation, uh, and Norway. Well, not all of Norway, but where I live, it's we have a lockdown. They are going to end it in a few days now, but who knows when they will lock us down again. But how is the situation in North Carolina now?
Um, I would not in a lockdown. I wouldn't say it's too bad here. No, I don't think there's any. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's any restrictions going on right now. Um, People are kind of just out everywhere doing whatever. But I wouldn't say it's too bad here right now.
You know what bothered me the most? Because I have two dogs, and I know you have two dogs, and we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But when this whole lockdown, well, we've been in lockdowns on and off for a year, or more than a year actually, and I was afraid that it would be difficult to get to the veterinarian. Um, what if something happens and they're closed and they won't let you in? That never happened, but that was my biggest fear actually. Did they close at any point the veterinarian's office in your state?
Um, I'm not sure if they closed any, but right now it's like a situation where you have that like park in front of the place, and they have those sign outside. You call the number, and it's like, you give them your information, stuff like that, and then you got
Mm.
to wait in your car, and they come out to get your animal. And that's the situation is how it is right now. I'm not sure if they closed it at any point.
Okay, well, we can come in, but yeah, that's well, okay, let's not get into the deep end of the whole COVID discussion and all that, uh, because I want to mention to anyone watching this that one of your dogs is not well. He's sick, and you have a GoFundMe to raise money for the treatment. Um, and also I want to say that we're not making this video, we're not talking here just because of that, but I feel since you're on Patreon, you're supporting me there, at least I can mention your GoFundMe. And of course I will put a link in the video description. I have been through many years of my life. I've been through sickness with my dogs because they get old, and you know how it is, and it's very hard. Can you, if you want to, you don't, it's up to you, but if you want to, can you just explain a little bit about what's going on, the whole situation there?
Yeah. Pretty much he's diagnosed with this disease called IMHA, which means immune mediated hemolytic anemia. And basically what it is that his immune system is trying to kill off his red blood cells pretty much. And he has to require multiple blood transfusions at this point. I think he's at 4, I want to say, maybe 5, could be wrong. And they had to put him on these types of medicines to kind of stop his immune system from killing off his red blood cells. Because it's kind of like, from what they said, it's kind of like cancer. And you live with it for the rest of your life, and all they can do is kind of help control it, kind of. But it would never go. It would never go away, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I think it's great. Whenever I hear about dog owners who do what they can for their dogs, you know, to me, it's you know, like, why don't everyone just do whatever they can? But some people, they just give up, and yeah, well, so that's awesome that you're not giving up, and yeah, I
to
like
me,
that
like,
as well.
to me, like, I don't know, it's probably strange to most people, but to me, like, animals are like just as important. Like, it's like a brother or a sister or your mom or your dad. It's like, it's not like they're part of your family. And to me, like, you should, try, if your mother is dying, you would try as hard as you could to, make sure she lives. I feel like the same way with an animal, you should try just as hard to, no matter what the cost is, you should, at least try to get as much help as possible.
Yeah, I totally agree. And yeah, but yeah, the link to your GoFundMe will be in the video description. So if anyone want to, support and pay some of the medical costs, then they can go to that use that link. Now, I grew up with dogs, and I'll tell you a funny story. I can't remember this because I was very little. Before I learned to walk, I've been told that I was doing like, we had a small, what's it called? It's Pekingese dog.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had one of those when I was, a baby or a little, before I could walk. And apparently he taught me to scratch on the doors to get him into another room, So yeah. Did you grow up with dogs, or did you get the dogs yourself when you grew up yourself? How was that?
Yeah. For as long as I've been alive, I've had animals, whether it's been dogs or cats. I want to say I've had a dog my entire life. I don't think there's been a time in my life when I haven't had a dog, or a cat. I've probably had like 10, 12 dogs, probably.
Now, what's it like to have a big husky and this small?
A lot of very crazy. Daisy, which is the husky, is very full of energy, just running everywhere. And Gizmo is just trying to keep up because he's so small, and he's just running all around the yard and just such full of energy. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I have 2 Spanish greyhounds or galgos, and maybe you've seen them in some of the videos, and they are quite large. I guess they're at the same height or a little bit taller maybe than a husky. So some people who have that kind of, greyhounds and so on, they, for some reason, they get 1 or 2 small dogs in addition to that. And I always wondering how are they playing, because the big dogs are much faster than the small dogs. So yeah.
I would say like Daisy is very like rambunctious, and then Gizmo is just like, he wants to replicate that. Like, he just tries to, keep up with her, but Gizmo, the smaller dogs tend to be a little bit more, kind of laid back, casual, like more like kind of like lap dogs. They want to lay with you a lot. But Huskies, Daisy is definitely a very something you got to keep up with. That's for sure.
Can we talk a little bit about the American perception of Norway and Norwegians?
Okay.
You didn't expect that one, I guess.
No.
It's you know, because I sometimes feel that as a Norwegian, I get a lot of credit, or no, I should say Norwegians in general get a lot of credit just for being Norwegians. It's like, well, we're Vikings over here, and we live in the snow and the ice, and yeah. So, is it a little bit like that? Is that the general perception among Americans?
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure there's some of that, but like around the people I know, it's more of that they kind of know, because I have a brother who likes to travel. So I mean, most of the people I talk to, they seem to know, like, you know, there's definitely no Vikings in Norway at this point, and they don't, you know, it's not like all snow and all this. So I want to say that there's like a perceived stereotype, for at least from around the people I'm around. But I mean, it could possibly be a thing.
And there's this other thing as well, which is totally opposite. This perception that I think that's about Norwegians in general. The women are fiercely feminist, and the men are very leftist, progressive. You know, what's soy boys? Isn't that what the term?
Yeah.
Is that a perception that you've encountered about Norwegians or Scandinavians?
No, I've never heard that actually.
Okay,
So
that's good. That's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I've like I don't think I've ever heard that. I wouldn't say I have, no.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that, because it's not true. That's one thing, and it's not a good image to have, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I mean, to me, that's like, I don't know. That's a little out there.
Yeah. Well, now that I have you here, and I'm also interested in, and this is a difficult question, you know, because we belong to different generations. You're 27, right?
Yes.
Yes, and I'm 21 years older than you. So I guess we can say that we belong to different generations in a way. And I get a lot of emails and comments, messages, and so on from men your age. And what they are saying is that they are struggling finding their place as men, young men, in this so-called modern civilized world. And we were talking a while ago, not we, but you know, in general, people were talking about toxic masculinity. It's like it's becoming more difficult, maybe more demanding in some ways, to be a man, even though I must say also it was demanding before. You know, it's always been demanding, of course, but we have these expectations that we're not supposed to be real men. Is that, again, you know, is that just is that the wrong perception that I have? Because I view that as a mainly actually a North American problem. I don't see a lot of that here in Norway.
I would definitely say it's a problem here. I mean, I mean, to me, like, you want to be a man, you want to be a man, but like, I don't think it shouldn't be frowned upon the way it is here. Like, it's pretty, like, it's very a PC culture here, where it's, you know, it's very frowned up. If you try to be, you know, assert your dominance as a man, it's very, very looked down upon here, especially around the people, like, especially in the younger generations, like around my age or even younger. People tend to think that if you're that way, it's like a detriment and like a negativity to like society or people around you. That's what I've experienced.
Okay, well, that's good in a way. You know, I'm not a fan of this traditional 1950s image of the masculine man. It's not, that's not good, you know. But
Yeah.
if we're going to go to the other direction, there won't be any masculinity left at all. So yeah, that's at least that's my opinion. We're going to do this short. We could talk more, I guess, but the last video I uploaded was 1 hour, and it got filled with ads. So something seems to happen in some geographical areas with YouTube. They just put a lot of ads in there. It's better if we keep the videos a little bit shorter. So do you have anything to add?
I mean, only I want to say is if you guys are willing to support the GoFundMe, it mean a lot, because we really need the money for his medical bills, and that would just really mean a lot.
Yeah, and I will put the link in the video, the description, as I said. And I know how it is, you know, with sick dogs. I know how it is, and it's hard, and you know, it's I wish you and Gizmo the best of luck, and thank you for taking the time talking with me here. I really appreciated that. I should reach out to you guys on Patreon more often. Again, thank you for supporting me. And yeah, okay, I think that's all. Okay, have a nice day.